All right, going to talk about Texas A&M quarterback Marcel Reed. Talk about what his top 3 strengths are as a quarterback as of right now as we head into the 2025 season. So this is all based off the 2024 season. So we got 3 strengths I want to go into detail about, and then we'll look at a clip or 2 demonstrating each of those strengths here at the end of the video. So Marcel Reed, 1,864 yards passing last year, 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, had a completion percentage right over 61.3. 547 yards rushing, that's including sacks, and 7 touchdowns on the ground, 622 yards, not including sacks. I'm high on his potential. The potential is there, and it's largely because these 3 strengths we're about to talk about. So his first strength, this is going to be the most evident, obvious one that every A&M fan agrees with, that every this college football fan that keeps up with the SEC will agree with. That's his athleticism. It's evident that he's one of the better athletes on the field. Whenever they face competition that they are superior, then Reed is able to have pretty good games on the ground. He had 622 yards, not including sacks. He had 7 rushing touchdowns on the ground, which was 3rd in the SEC. Jalen Milroe had like 20. I think Taylor Green and Pavia were tied for 8. But the big game that stood out was everyone knew he was a good athlete, but the LSU game he was able to take over because of his athleticism. LSU wasn't prepared. I get that. LSU didn't know what was really coming per se, but Reed was still able to take over even when LSU tried to make adjustments. So I do want to see his athleticism used more in the pass game. I want to see some more rollouts. I want to see some more quarterback design schemes that gets him outside the pocket, maybe gets him in a more comfortable situation. But his number one strength is his athleticism, his ability to run the football can really change the game. Number 2, another strength, his ability to throw off of play action. Now, this is something that I don't think they did enough of, in my opinion. Now, I'm no coach in Klein, and the offensive staff are way smarter than I'll ever be on when it comes to offensive football. I'm just some random guy talking about Reed on YouTube. But in my opinion, he was more comfortable off of play action, but only 25% of his dropbacks were off play action. Jackson Dart's dropbacks were 50-something%. Quinn was over 50%, or Quinn Ewers was over 40-something%. Nico was over 50%. So I want to see more play action for Marcel Reed this coming up season. He had 7 touchdowns off of play action, so almost half of his passing touchdowns are off of play action. And only 1 interception was off play action. Had 6 total picks, and only 1 was off of play action. So I thought that he was more comfortable. And I want to see them utilize this a bit more, especially with A&M being able to get the running game going. In majority of games, A&M's probably going to be able to run the ball. So I want to see some more play action, some more creativity in this type of passing, because he was obviously more comfortable utilizing play action. Then the third strength is his poise and his ability to be a competitor, his competitiveness, right? I think poise and competitiveness, goes hand in hand. Now, saying some guys are really good competitors is pretty cliche, and I hate saying that. But if you look at the course of the season, whenever he got put in the game against Florida when Wigman was out, he was able to battle, compete. And then when he got benched, right, Wigman came back, and they put him back in the game against LSU, and he was able to compete when he got in and was able to eventually take the job from Connor Wigman when most people thought Wigman was the guy this season. Now, there are some A&M fans who were smarter than me who said, hey, keep an ear out for Marcel Reed. But still, I thought it was a great example of his competitiveness, which stems from his poiseness, being poised. When you got put in LSU, you're down double digits, and he was able to lead A&M and roar back for a huge comeback against LSU when he was put in the game against LSU. So, well, there's no stat here to talk about a quarterback being poised and how competitive he is. I think it's crucial. Even things are going bad, I think you stay poised. Even against Auburn, they were down, what was it, 21-0, 21-7? He stayed poised, he was calm, they were able to come back, they lost in double overtime, but he was still poised the entire time. Against USC, they take the lead late. I know USC ended up winning, but he was poised the entire time. So I think it's a good quality to have as a quarterback. So, of course, there are stuff you want to work on if you're Marcel Reed, and we're going to talk about how he can elevate his game moving forward. But these are 3 of his top strengths, in my opinion. His athleticism, his ability to throw off play action, and his poise and his competitiveness that I think allows him to succeed in chaotic situations. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out maybe one clip over each of these strengths that hopefully does a good job demonstrating Reed's ability here, and then we'll wrap the video up. All right, A&M fans, so we got 4 clips of Reed that demonstrate, hopefully does a good job demonstrating the strengths, the 3 strengths that we just talked about, and y'all know this is broadcast footage, so I do apologize, y'all know I have to slow it down. We do have some All-22 coming up this offseason that hopefully we'll be able to display, but I think does a good enough job getting the point across. So his number 1 strength, and we talked about this in the beginning of the video, is his athleticism, whether it is improvising or design quarterback run like this, but it shows ability to make guy miss, boom, come upfield, then shows some acceleration ability here as well to beat the defenders to the end zone. So the number one strength for Reed is his athleticism. I mean, he had 622 yards on the ground, not including sacks, and he, didn't even start the whole season because Wegman was the starter for half-ish of the season, give or take. It's impressive, right? So again, he has the ability to take over the game with his athleticism. So now it's how do you progress and move forward. So second strength of Reed is his ability to pass off a play action. Now, I don't know if it's a strength per se. It's just something he's more comfortable off doing. And A&M fans, I show this clip all the time. I want to see more of it. I think you have the ability to have some creative plays like this. This is a play action play, in my opinion, because it's a threat at the quarterback running a little power scheme, and it opens up the receiver back here. Look how many guys you have looking here because of the threat of the run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, maybe 8 guys if we're missing one there. So I think the ability to throw off play action is there. I want to see that utilized more. Again, only 25% of his dropbacks were off of play action. You had another open receiver on a slant route here. You had double slants from slot guys maybe. But I do want to see that more. 7 touchdowns off play action, only 1 pick. He was obviously more comfortable. I want to see that more. I want to see his athleticism on display more in the passing game too. I want to see some more design and rollouts. Now again, I don't get paid big bucks on some random guy on YouTube talking. Offensive play callers know all this. They have a better plan than I can even imagine. But I still think he's more comfortable off of play action, so I would like to see that more. And then the last strength of Reed is his poise and his competitiveness. We talked about the competitiveness to beat Connor Wegman out, even after Wegman came back as a starter the first time. But then the poise to get put in a situation like this. You're down by 10. You probably should have been down by more, but the defense was bailing you out. You put Reed in the game, boom, able to score right here right off the bat, right? So he uses his athleticism, but he gets put right in the game and able to take over the game, and they win by double digits. And this is midway through the third quarter. They're down by double digits. So I think it's a good example of Marcel Reed being put into a pretty chaotic, not great situation and able to lead here, right? So the run is obvious, but even maybe his best throw of the season came against LSU. He had 2 completions. He was 2 of 2 against LSU, and one of the completions was this deep ball here. LSU only down by 5. Maybe they got a chance to come back. Then Reed's able to hit the kind of the dagger throw here to really put them away, at least put them in a position to put them away after this deep ball here. It's a really nice throw by Marcel Reed. Now, we've talked about how you can elevate his game, the improvement areas, but the ability is there, and this shows his poise and his maybe clutch gene, if you will, to be able to make this type of throw in this type of situation. God, it's a really nice throw there. Not a lot of room for error. Drops it right in the bucket for Texas A&M. So top 3 strengths. A&M fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think Marcel Reed's top 3 strengths are? We talked about his athleticism. We talked about his comfortableness throwing off a play action that we want to see more of, maybe. And then we looked at his poise and his competitiveness that he showed over and over again last season for A&M. We'll have a video coming out talking about how he can elevate his game, so be on the lookout for that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think his strengths are, what your expectations are for next season. If you haven't followed the channel or subscribed, please consider subscribing. We're a big quarterback hub, mainly SEC quarterback hub. We put out content like this, but everything SEC quarterback is fair game here. So thanks for watching. Like the video, share. It helps us grow. We'll see you next time. Peace.